With this video lecture, we are going to start the second topic of section 2, that is electricity. Now, electricity plays an important role in our lives. We all know how dependent we are on electricity in our day-to-day life. We require electricity at home, in the offices, at the college, in industries. Electricity is used for communication, entertainment purpose, etc. So for most of our activities, we depend upon electricity. And this is clear from the picture on the screen, which shows how we require electricity for different activities in our day-to-day life. So in this topic, we are going to get introduced to some basic concepts of electricity. The points we are going to cover here are concept of electric current, Ohm's law, specific resistance, resistances in series and parallel, Wheatstone's network, and meter bridge. Let's start with concept of electric current. Now, electric current is said to flow through a conductor when there is a flow of charge through the conductor. There are two types of charges, the positive charge and the negative charge. Now, metal conductors have large number of free electrons. Electrons are negatively charged particles and always move towards positive electric field. The flow of these electrons gives rise to the flow of charge and hence flow of current. The figure shows a metal conductor AB with no potential difference across the conductor or no end of the conductor at a positive potential. The motion of the electrons is random. When a potential difference is applied across the conductor, the electrons being negatively charged begin to move towards the positive terminal of the conductor. Here in the figure, electrons are moving from the left end of the conductor to the right end of the conductor. Now let's consider a vertical plane or cross section of this conductor. A charge on one electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Now if the number of electrons crossing this section in unit time in 1 second is say n, then the total charge moving across this section minus q will be equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into n, the number of electrons crossing this section. Now this is equivalent to a equal amount of positive charge plus q moving in the opposite direction, that is from right end of the conductor to the left end of the conductor and crossing this section in unit time. The conventional direction of the current is the direction in which the positive charge moves through the conductor. Now let's see the definition of current. The figure shows a conductor and a battery is connected across the conductor. This battery produces the required potential difference across the conductor and electrons begin to flow towards the positive terminal of the conductor. That is, electrons begin to flow from the negative terminal of the battery to the positive terminal of the battery, and the negative charge moves from right end of the conductor to the left end of the conductor, and the positive charge is then said to move from left end of the conductor to the right end of the conductor. If Q is the positive charge crossing the conductor in time t, then the current flowing through the conductor is given by the ratio Q by T, or we can define current as it is the rate of flow of charge through the conductor. So the flow of positive charge Q per unit time t through a conductor is called as the current I, and I is given by Q upon T. Now Q is measured in coulomb, the charge, and time t is measured in second. So current can be measured in coulomb per second. But this unit is named after the scientist Ampere, and current is measured commonly in ampere. Now we are going to see a very important law related to current flowing through a conductor when a potential difference is applied across the conductor. So what is this law? It is the Ohm's law. The Ohm's law states that physical conditions of a conductor such as length, area of cross section and temperature remaining constant, the current I flowing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the conductor. So what does the Ohm's law state? Physical conditions like length, cross-sectional area and temperature remaining the same, current through the conductor is proportional to potential difference across the conductor. So we can write down I is proportional to V, that is V is proportional to I. So we can write down V is equal to some constant of proportionality into I, and this constant of proportionality is denoted by the letter R and is called as the resistance of the conductor. The resistance of the conductor. So now we can write down from the above expression R is equal to V upon I. If the resistance of the conductor increases, current through the conductor decreases. This is clear from this expression. So this resistance R is defined as it is the opposition offered by the conductor to the flow of current. Greater the resistance, lesser will be the current through the conductor. This resistance is measured in ohm, and when you represent a resistance in a figure, it is shown by a symbol like this. Now another term like resistance, specific resistance of a material. Now again the figure shows a conductor connected across a battery. Length of the conductor is say L and area of cross section is A, and the resistance of this conductor is say R. Now resistance of a conductor changes with the dimensions of the conductor. Now temperature remaining constant, if the length of the conductor is increased, it is observed that the resistance of the conductor increases proportionally. So we can say that the resistance of the conductor is directly proportional to the length of the conductor. Similarly, if the area of cross section is increased, it is observed that the resistance of the conductor decreases with increase in cross sectional area. So we can say that the resistance R is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area A and directly proportional to the length L of the conductor. So combining both these relations, we can write down, if temperature of a conductor is constant, then it is observed that the resistance R of a conductor is directly proportional to L, the length, and inversely proportional to A, the cross-sectional area. Therefore, R is proportional to 1 upon A and R is proportional to L. Combining both these, R is proportional to 1 by A. Therefore, we can write down R is equal to, actually the symbol is wrong, R is equal to a constant into the length upon the cross-sectional area. Therefore, R is equal to, the constant is denoted by the letter rho into L by A. And this constant of proportionality, rho, is called as the specific resistance of the material of the conductor. Therefore, rho is equal to R into A upon L, resistance into cross-sectional area upon the length of the conductor. Now let's see the definition and unit of rho. Now we saw the formula for rho as rho is equal to, specific resistance is equal to Ra upon L. Now if the length of the conductor is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 square meter, then substituting these in this formula, we get rho is equal to R into 1 upon 1, that is equal to R. So specific resistance rho is equal to the resistance of the material of unit length and unit cross sectional area. So from this we can define the specific resistance as, it is the resistance of a conductor of unit length and unit cross sectional area. So specific resistance is constant for a material. It will vary from material to material, but for a material like copper, aluminium, zinc, it will remain constant. Unit for specific resistance from the above formula is ohm meter in the SI system and ohm centimeter in the CGS system. Now we will continue with the combination of resistance in our next video lecture.